would like to give a special nail addict shout out to Exotica's Empire, Kim Nails Learning Myself, Miss Black Sheep Does Nails, and Rochelle Howard for being the first four to comment on my last video. Thank you, ladies, very much. Hey y'all, welcome back and welcome if you're new. My name is Sheena, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get into today's set. So today I'm using my Madam Glam. As always, Dreamer is my favorite like nude base shade. I'm also going to be using Lightborn, and they'll be linked down below if you're interested, and Healing Glam are the three shades I'm going to use today. I also have a Madam Glam discount code that I keep down below if you're interested, but I'm using those glitters I just showed, and then I just pulled out a bunch of rhinestones. Didn't know what I was going to do, so I just pulled out a bunch of different things to try and incorporate into the set today. I'm just showing you some of what I may use in the set today. So y'all, I'm early. I feel good. I'm doing my Gemini Zodiac sets. And with every Zodiac this year, I have been posting it past, like, so it'll be like the last day of that Zodiac season, and then the next day I'll post it, or that last day. But y'all, I'm on time and early for Gemini. I did this about 2 weeks ago. On point. I was ready. I'm not a Gemini, but I do know a lot of Geminis, and yeah, so I definitely wanted to jump into this more so for them, because a couple of them I showed this design and they were like, you need to do that on me for my birthday, blah blah blah. So anyway, jumping into the set, I'm going in with Dreamer, and I will be placing 2 coats of this on each of my nails and curing for 30 seconds in between each of the coats. So this is how they look after the 2 coats. I always tell y'all this, but I absolutely love this shade. So to start the design, I'm just going to place a French tip on my index, my ring, or excuse me, my index, middle, and pinky for the base of the designs that I will be doing on these nails. So I decided to use the yellow and the pink because I was looking up Gemini things, and they were basically like the colors for Gemini are like yellow and pink. Yellow and purple. And so I didn't know if I wanted to use like a light yellow and purple or a dark one, but I opted to go with the light one. My mom, she's a Gemini, so she wanted me to do this same set on her again for her birthday, but just switch it to darker shades of yellow and purple. So when I do that, no matter what video it is, I'm going to pop that in so y'all can see, because I think it'll look cute with the darker shades too. But I'm more of a pastel light girl, so I went with the lighter shades on this. But again, I'm using my T method I always use to do my Frenches, and I'm using my XXL Stiletto nail tips from Nail Couture, the 123 Go tips. I love these tips. Perfect length for me, very comfortable. So this is what I'm going with for today's design. And I'm just using my liner brush from Madam Glam. Sorry y'all, the phone cut out, but I'm using my liner brush from Madam Glam and just filling everything in nice and neat, trying to make sure that smile line is nice and straight for me. So I'm going to jump right into some of the things I was reading about Gemini. The symbol is the twins, which I do love that. That's pretty cool. It's from May 21st to June 20th. And it says Gemini traits. They're charismatic, could talk to a brick wall, arguments as flirting, knowing a little about everything. And y'all, I'm going to tell y'all right now, some of the Geminis I know are head on with these traits that I am reading. Yeah, Geminis are something else. I mean, can be the sweetest people ever, but also just in a blink of an eye, like just switch out and you don't even know what happened. Like, Geminis are strange people, but I love them nonetheless. Like I said, my mom is a Gemini. My niece, But they're totally different. You wouldn't even know both of them are Geminis. And this is how they look with just the French tips done. Super, super cute. I also applied these nails using the Gel X method, if anybody was wondering. So my index, I'm jumping into the set again real quick before I go back to the Geminis. But for the index, I decided to do a checkerboard on this. And for me, a checkerboard in some ways really, it gives me Gemini vibes. Like I don't know, I can't even describe why I did the things I can, but like I can't. Like if you know, then you know. But a checkerboard for me, or a chessboard for me, definitely screams Gemini in my eyes. So I decided to do a checkerboard design on my index. Now, when I started this checkerboard design, I do checkerboards all the time because I love them. But for some reason this night, I was like drawing a blank on how to even get this mapped out. So as you see, I'm like kind of just making the squares and then like filling in where I want. And then you'll see me eventually go in. So the best way to do a checkerboard nail is to make your lines down. So on this nail, for instance, I would have made 3 lines straight down towards the free edge, and then I would have made my lines going across to kind of like separate the areas, and then coloring every other square. You'll see that in a minute. But again, at first I was like drawing a blank on even how to start my checkerboard design, but I loved how this nail came out. So also it says Geminis are very intelligent and pick up knowledge quickly. They are perceptive, analytical, and often very funny. They have an unreserved, childlike curiosity, always asking new questions. Geminis have an uncanny ability to size up a person's character in a matter of seconds, even if they only just met them. If someone's bluffing, they'll be the first to notice. They are great communicators because they tend to be very responsive and sensitive listeners. Geminis are versatile, comfortable being both introverts and extroverts. They are quick to adapt to the energy of a room. They can be the life of the party or a complete wallflower. Geminis know how to bring dissimilar people together and make them get along. And y'all, I can say that little description definitely, again, goes back to the Geminis I do know. And it's so true. Like every little thing that was said in that passage was definitely true. I have been enjoying my Zodiac journey because I get to learn a little bit more about each of the signs, because typically I'm really not into like zodiacs and this and that. Like, yeah, I know what I am, my sign, and I love my sign. I love my my stone. I love like everything about my particular sign, but like I'm just really not into it real heavy. And so doing the Zodiac series that I started here this year, it's been pretty fun just learning about the different signs and like I guess some of their traits and things like that. It's been pretty cool. But jumping back into the set, I just did that whole middle finger without even explaining it, and it was basically just a yin yang. So again, their symbol is the twins, and we all know that Geminis are off and on type people, so that yin yang kind of symbolizes that for me, which is why I put that into the set. So on my pinky, I decided to do a flame because they are some firecrackers. Geminis can be. And I'm not going to say they always are because, again, they're very sweet people. But they can also be firecrackers. And, yeah, you don't want to get on their bad side. So the flame is just that flame that they can ignite, like either good or bad. And that's why I put the flame to represent the Gemini in that form. So this next part, it says, what are Gemini's weaknesses? Geminis are afraid of being alone. This is why they tend to have large social circles and always have a companion. They're afraid of being trapped in their own minds. It's not that Geminis aren't creative or intelligent. It's that they're afraid of the power of their own imagination. They're afraid of what they'll find once they finally find themselves. They're not afraid of their emotions, but Geminis are constantly worried about how they convey them, about their words being misconstrued, about unintentionally hurting someone's feelings. This is a common pattern for Geminis and a result of how they externalize their insecurities. They're afraid of getting caught up in an emotion that they can't control. They simply react to their emotions rather than feel them. A Gemini mind is an endless racetrack. They're constantly scanning under the surface of their current reality for something that they haven't seen before. Geminis aren't in a rush to get anywhere. They're just looking for something new. The most important thing Geminis need to realize is that there is no final destination to be found at the end of the road. They can't run forever. At some point, they're going to have to stop and look around to take responsibility for the environment they find themselves in. They're going to have to look at the world that they've built for themselves and decide if that's what they really want. So, that was a very, very interesting passage there on the Gemini. We completely just missed my middle finger, but this is how the nails are looking so far. And for that middle finger, I basically just laid down my rubber base gel from Born Pretty because it's really, really thick in consistency. And I used 2 of the flower little glitters that I incorporated. So on the purple side, I used the yellow one. On the purple side, I used the yellow one, and on the yellow side, I used the purple. Went back in with that same base gel to encapsulate them so that I could further go in and file, shape, and buff later. And I love how that came out. So now on my thumb, I am using my rubber base gel again, and I'm going to lay down these glitters that I got off Amazon. They are Zodiac glitters, so 2 of the twins, and you really can't see. I'm gonna try to put it up where you can see. And then I also did put the word Gemini, which also came in that same set. I'll have that link down below. I just like to be different. So I know everybody uses those really big little placements that say the actual sign, and I might get some eventually. I just didn't want to start like that because everybody does that. It's typical, and they're really cute, but I like to be different. So I got these little pieces off Amazon, and I actually really love how they look on the nail set. And I'm going to zoom in and let you see. I put the twins upside down, so you really you can see just then, but it came out really cute. So now I'm just adding some of the flowers with both colors into this nail, and then I'll give that a full 30-second cure. So I actually hadn't did anything yet. So now this is where I'm going back in with my rubber base gel just to encapsulate those glitters so that they don't come off the nail. They're in really, really good. Everything is nice and smooth. So I'm just taking a nice layer of that and floating it over those glitters. I'm going to also turn my finger up for a few seconds so that everything kind of gravitates and it's actually covering it really well. And this technique works amazing. I remember I never knew how to encapsulate glitters when doing a Gel X method, which that's the method I'm using today. And then once I learned how to do this, it's dang, I love Gel X. Gel X is bomb. I can still do any design. I can still encapsulate glitters. I can still do all of that as long as I have a nice base gel or even a base coat to use to encapsulate. Or even you can use pretty much anything to encapsulate, and it's just amazing. It does not change anything with the nail. It doesn't make it too bulky, because these are the only 2 nails that I ended up doing this with, and they still came out really, really nice. So I'm doing the same thing on my thumb just to encapsulate all of those glitters so that you don't feel anything once the set is completely done, and I give that a good 30-second cure. So now I'm going in and wiping off the inhibition layer from that rubber base gel off my middle finger and my thumb so that I'm able to go in and buff them. So with these, again, they were very, very smooth, so I just really needed to buff over them a little bit. Of course, I'm taking my hand file and trying to crisp up the sides a bit because, a lot of times when I do gel polish, I'm not perfect and I love art and nail art and painting and stuff, but I can get a bit better with the gel polishes that I use, but it's okay. So now I'm taking my mini orange buffer and just buffing out any lumps, bumps, anything in the nail just to make them nice and smooth. And I do run my finger over that just to make sure nothing's poking out, and everything turned out absolutely amazing. So now I'm going over my index with top coat, and I'm going to be placing a cuticle cuff right around that cuticle area. And I use top coat because I did not keep these on, so I popped them right back off after the video. But if I were keeping them on, I would definitely use a rhinestone glue or something a bit stronger so that the rhinestones don't go anywhere. And I just used a mixture of rhinestones. Y'all seen all those rhinestones I had out at the beginning of the video. I just used just some of those rhinestones. I can't even remember what combination or what. I know a lot of ABs, but I just made a nice cuticle cuff there around the cuticle area and then cured that for 30 seconds. Then on my middle finger, I'm doing the same thing with the top coat, and then I'm going to place a cuticle cuff by the cuticle area and a diamond. On my pinky, I did a cuticle cuff as well, and then I did cure for 30 seconds in my lamp. But at this time, as always, I hope that everyone is having an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you may be. And thank you to anyone that does take their time to watch my videos. It's greatly appreciated. And watching my videos to the end actually helps me out quite a bit. If you're new to my channel, I see y'all, and I am so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. Welcome to the Nail Addict family. And if you've been subscribed, I love you guys more than I can ever say. On the thumb, I'm just placing down the top coat and then just placing random rhinestones just all over scattered onto this nail. And I loved this one with all of the extraness. I feel like I should have made this one more like the ring finger, like an accent nail, because it just had so much going on, but it was still really cute. And so for the ring finger, I'm placing a cuticle plate, a rhinestone placement down the center of this nail, and I love how it came out. Very simple, very cute. And then once I finish this, I'm pretty much done with the set, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply cuticle oil off camera, and I'll be back in just a moment with the final look. And here is the finished set. I think everything for me represents a Gemini. Again, the checkerboard, the yin yang, the flame, just everything to me about this set screams Gemini. If you're a Gemini, tell me what you think. Do you like the set that I created for y'all? Because I think it's bomb.com. And I would definitely wear this even as like not, because it's not necessarily a Gemini set, but for me it's my Gemini Zodiac set. But y'all comment down below and let me know what you think of this particular set. And if you made it this far, don't forget to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Hit your post notification bell so you don't miss any of my future sets. I also did get an outside view of these now. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm not going to guarantee it, because if I do pop-off sets in the middle of the night, I'm just popping it off, you know, and I'm ready for the next set. So if I don't do an outside look, it's because of that. But I'm going to start trying to do outside views, because I feel like the nails look so pretty in lighting. Like, look at these. These are so cute. I have the angle of the camera really funny, so it's like farther away than I want it. But they are so pretty. It just glistened and shined. But again, make sure you guys are liking the video and subscribing to the channel. You don't want to miss any of my future sets. I have so much more to come. I thank you all for joining me today, and I'll see you in my next one. Remember to be the best you that you can be, and much love to you all.